What's up, Dragon Brood? Today I want to do a little bit of a different video. We're going to talk about the streamer event kind of behind the scenes, as well as show you some footage from the event. So we're going to get a couple of games in here, so if you want to see those, I'll have them linked in below if you want to check the timeline. But a lot of people ask, why does a streamer event exist, and how do you get invited, and all that good stuff? Well, the first thing is that it exists to help promote the latest set. It usually comes out between the time of the pre-release and the actual release of the set. So oftentimes we'll have the streamer event on the Wednesday or Thursday before set release, and then it goes live on Arena the following week. So you usually get it on that Tuesday. And the benefit of it as a viewer, other than getting to see your favorite creators play against other creators, because people seem to really like that. I'm not really sure what the draw is, but hey, people love it. The other thing, though, is that it lets you see some cards in practice before you decide to build a deck yourself, whether that's to go out and buy the singles from an online retailer or even your local store, or if you're just going to craft the cards on Arena and build with that, which is a good thing to have, right? We get exposure to the cards ahead of time, get to see, because this set literally has a ton of crazy stuff in it. Piles and piles and piles. But this gives you a chance to see some of those in action to see, do they do what you think they do, right? Do they combo the right way you want? So it's actually a really cool experiment for everybody. And as creators, we also kind of get a low pressure situation to just try stuff. Now, some people still show up and try to build like top tier decks for that type of event when everybody's just testing stuff. You're never going to be able to avoid that. But it is actually really cool as a way to get to try some stuff out. And then it gives us ideas for what we want to build for the next couple weeks after the set goes live. Getting invited, though, that's not really a thing you have a lot of control over. Like, you can always submit, I believe, online if you just follow their social media managers, or whenever the information goes live, there's usually a link you can email. And I would just say be active in the Magic community. Be somebody who makes a lot of content, post a lot on socials, just does something to help move the community forward, and obviously promotes Magic and or Wizards, right? Because those are the people they want to invite to the event. Now, don't be wrong. I'm not saying everything you do has to kiss up to Wizards. Trust me, I have things on the channel. I've made videos about things I disagree with. I have a podcast where we talk about things we disagree with, or when there's an issue, we cover it. And if you don't watch it, we have Color Magic. We've been posting the YouTube videos as well as the audio. You should check that out. It's more about just being active, being known, being seen, and it's not even about being the largest creators. I play against creators that are much larger than me on the regular, but there's also creators that are smaller than me that make the event and get to play. So it's not even a size thing. It's more about just, have you proven yourself, I guess, is the best way I would put it. Because most of the people I've seen, at least within the US that have participated, I have seen their stuff at some point. Maybe one or two people I haven't, but generally I'm at least aware of the people, which means they're out there enough and being seen enough that it kind of makes sense that they got invited. Now, while some people think this isn't totally fair, we do have to remember that this is also a promotional event, right? So you showing off stuff only really works if you're able to draw a crowd. Not a huge crowd, but a crowd nonetheless, right? You have to reach some number of people that Wizards believes they won't necessarily reach themselves, or maybe that other creators won't reach. And that's their decision. We don't have any control over that. Now, the interesting thing about this event was that this was only the second time, I think, where we had a non-standard set that actually got a streamer event for it. Which, by the way, the streamer event is also the early access event. It just has a new name now for some reason. But this is only the second time. So this comes with its own set of issues. The last time, I believe, was for the Lord of the Rings set, which was historic only and older, right? But the thing about this event is that it's the first time we did a non-standard set after switching the teams over. Because for those of you who don't know, short history lesson, at the end of last year, the team that did a lot of the streamer events, I still want to call it early access, the streamer event, a couple of those people are no longer at Wizards. So we didn't have one for the immediate set that followed, which was Murders at Karlov Manor. We did get one for this last set, which was Thunder Junction, though it did have some bumps where, the window we got to play wasn't as large, the number of people invited was smaller, but, give them a chance to get their bearings. It's a new team of people, and it wasn't that bad. This time, though, they tried to invite more people, give us a couple more options, and a much longer day, which was super nice. However, the downside we ran into is people wanted to play both timeless and historic, and even with more people being invited, there's not as many people who play those formats regularly. Like, tons of people build for standard online and arena, not as many people build for historic and timeless. So the problem was you had a bunch of those people who either didn't participate or only drafted, and then there was a handful of people that were playing either timeless or historic. The issue there, though, is these people didn't necessarily interact with these people. So it got to be a bit more difficult to get games. And if you watch my stream, there was a couple of times, especially later in the afternoon, where we just couldn't get paired up for matches. So that was a little bit tough. But the games we got to play were all right. I mean, our opponents were cool. And they did do a little bit extra by having some people from Wizards and the esports team that they have that handles a lot of the behind the scenes stuff for all the championships events or whatever. They hopped in a little bit to fill in some of those gaps to make it a little easier to find some players. So overall, it still went off. It was fine, but I think it'll be a lot better once we get to Bloomborough in August. And I feel like they are learning a lot from each of these last two events, so I have no doubt that that team will have everything at least mostly figured out by then. And it'll be a lot better experience because it'll be a standard event. Now, as for the set itself, it was what we expected. Here's an interesting thing. Like, there wasn't a lot of what I would call, like, brewing, right? To do anything crazy and over the top we hadn't seen. Because I feel like, generally, for each of the standard sets, somebody goes kind of out of left field and tries something crazy with a new card, or maybe an old card that's been around standard that hasn't really gotten attention, finally has a piece that might work with it, and somebody goes in the lab and comes up with stuff. There wasn't really the case here with Modern Horizons 3. What we got was simply decks that did what we expected. But I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing, right? You are playing a set that's built to go with a bunch of older cards. So a lot of these cards already had homes, or we just kind of added to over the top of other things we're already doing, right? But there was a few cases where, like, the Eldrazi kind of did what we expected. You know, put a bunch of the stuff together, go over the top, remove your opponent's thing, do all the unfun things that Eldrazi do. But it did it effectively, to be honest. So, you know, saw a really fun deck from Legend VD, which I may try to remember to put the clip here. But this was actually really cool, honestly. I mean, I got beat by it, like, but it was still great. And I think we only beat it once. But it's actually a fun deck. An interesting deck, I should say. It's not really what I would call fun, but definitely interesting and has some cool interactions. But yeah, that's the type of thing I'm talking about, where we didn't see anything new, but things did what we expected. We got to see Nadu in a deck later in the day, and that did what we expected. It drew a bunch of cards, put a bunch of lands in play, got a bunch of triggers, had a Scoot Swarm, made a bunch of bodies, right? Kind of did that whole thing. And that's fine. You know, we got to play cats, and that actually worked. Ocelot was really cool. Got to do some fun stuff flipping Ajani, right? That was pretty neat too. So got to do some really fun things. If there was a disappointment on the day in the games we played, sadly, I really wanted to do some fun stuff with Eladamri, but every time we got it into play, it just got killed. And never got to see it do anything, and that was very disappointing. That aside, it did mostly what we thought it was going to do, though, you know, the times we actually got to use it, but there weren't very many. I mean, and to be fair, it's a type of card your opponent wants to kill. Otherwise, it possibly leads to you playing potentially 3 or 4 cards off the top of your library and putting you way ahead. They don't want that to happen. But you know what? I'm going to take a break from talking here, and I'm going to go ahead and put a couple of games in so you can watch some action from Modern Horizons 3 if you didn't catch the stream, and then I'll catch up with you at the end of these games, and we'll do a wrap-up. All right, opponent's going to go first. We're obviously keeping this. We even get to be Big Nakatl here, so, like, that's not bad to start with. We're going to pay the 2 life, because we want this dude down now. Right now. I don't even, like, I'm going to see so many cards that I'm not familiar with, and that's going to be awesome. Nope, let's do this. We will take the 2. Because we want a Big Nakatl to be able to fight. And then, do I just make a Ajani here? And just have 2 dudes, or do I just, well, I'm thinking about what am I going to do next turn? Still 3 damage. Yeah, I guess we go ahead. Nah, let's make him see if we can get him to spin removal on something else first. They are not as keen to take damage as we are. We are definitely the aggro deck here. Well, now that we have a backup Ajani, I might consider that plan. But either way, getting in there. No fear. Yep. Probably just taking down the flyer. That worked for me. Sad, though, I wish I'd have played the Ajani first. I'd be able to flip him here. So let's go ahead and do this. We'll play this tapped. Alright. What did they pick up there? Thought Monitor. Oh, it's Affinity stuff. Ooh, gross. I see what you're doing. I can appreciate that plan. Yep, a big 4/4. Alright, well, we're going to have to find a removal card, because if they put that on a flyer, we're going to be in trouble. You could come in to help later, maybe. Wouldn't be too mad at that. Problem is now, I don't think there's a way we could keep a Johnny. Though we have a backup one, so I guess it's mostly fine. Alright, I'll attack with the 1/1. Yeah, they're not blocking. I thought they might bite. They didn't, though. Okay, let's see how bad this hurts. I mean, if they had... I was going to say, if they had another one of these enforcers, we could have been dead or close to it. Alright, they're doing neither thing. Well, this is interesting. And we got the Ocelot. Alright, sure. I mean, we either get lifelink this turn or next turn. Oh, we're going to get it either way. So it doesn't really matter. Oh, I forgot. I should have played the Pride Mate first. We'd have got 2+1s. Gosh damn it. That was stupid. That was just bad magic. Absolutely terrible. Yep. Oh my gosh. That was so bad. Oh, that was just ignorant. I missed such a good opportunity. Alright, well. It's plus and put counters on things. And then we'll get a new 1/1. Alright. Oh, that was such a bad turn. This is what I get not playing with these cards in forever. That's actually pretty good in their deck. Like, and I'm sure they can play something else here with Affinity. Ugh, big 10-10, huh? Yep, that guy's good. Oh, you are a bit late here, friend. I mean, can we gain enough life to not die, maybe? All right, we get to go first. So yeah, we'll keep this. Absolutely. This isn't bad. We get to play this and then play a Pride Mate and have an automatic 3/3 for 2. That seems pretty good. All right, what are we doing? Ooh, and a Feline Sovereign. I like that. Let's go here. Don't need to well, we don't need to reveal we actually have green yet. I mean, we could look like we're just playing Kahira for red and white stuff. Emry. Well, Emry's usually a sign that there's combo-y things about to go down. So the good news... Oh, that's actually not bad either. Can he combo on the next turn? That's my question. Alright, I'm going to do this. And then if Emry doesn't block, we get to kill Ornithopter anyway, right? Yeah. And then, hopefully, we don't get comboed out and we can disrupt things with these two cards. Yeah, the Ornithopter might as well block because it's just going to die. So, like, that makes sense. Alright, here we go. What's Jim got up his sleeve for this turn? Why are these glowing? I mean, that one's indestructible. Oh, they're both indestructible. Oh, okay. That's why they're glowing. I was like, wait a minute. What's going on here? Choose an artifact in your graveyard. You can cast it this turn. Alright. Well, we do have ways to break things up. Alright. So they're going to get Mox Amber, which is not on yet. Oh, yeah, because it's add mana for among legendary things. So you got to have... You can't make blue with it. That is real. Alright, let's attempt to attack first. I mean, Felon Sovereign's probably going to die here because it's a thorn in his side. Oh, it just returns it to our hand. Alright, let's go ahead and kill Emry, since we can just recast Felon Sovereign and we get another point of damage in here. Alright. End the turn. More indestructible lands. Why do I get the feeling he's going to play something that destroys lands? And I'm going to get toasted. Oh, Coastal Excelsior. I do like that card. I actually like the card that's based on, to be honest. Alright. Pay 2, I guess? Then destroy the Unsealing? Oh, crap. I only have 1 green. I just wasted 2 life for no reason. I thought I had a second green and could play this after combat. Well, that was silly. Yep, that counts. Ornithopter? Yep, that's another quality blocker. Ooh, this is interesting. So if we play this...
May our axes strike as one.
I mean, the same things have to block here, though, right? Like, Ornithopter blocks Pridemate. Enforcer blocks Sovereign. But then I have something die, and I get to flip Ajani. So that is kind of a thing. But then I can't destroy any of their stuff again. So it's how badly do I want to flip Ajani? Well, we're testing cards today, so we want to flip Ajani. All right? That's the game plan. Yeah, Jim's checking out Ajani here going like, I see why you ran this in. You are absolutely right, friend. Then we'll play this. We'll put +1 on everybody. And then we can try to minus Ajani and make them choose an artifact, a creature, an enchantment, a planeswalker. But they kind of already have... Well, I guess going down to 1 artifact wouldn't really hurt them. They just keep the Enforcer at this point. Depending on what the rest of this turn looks like, obviously. I don't know, Jim actually puts up a lot of interesting decks. If you don't watch him, you probably should be. And he's a much better player, to be honest. Like, I mean, he's got Pro Tour credentials. I've played on the Pro Tour twice. He's been on the tour for a while. So, like, there's definitely a difference in skill there. Oh, that's really good. All right. Well, I guess we do this.
Treachery ends here, villain.
Because I don't know what cards he's holding on to here. All right. Try this. And then try to attack for lots many. All right, cool. I got there. Okay. We are up and running and do not have a fabulous hand here, but we are going to keep this. Wait, you have to ban it under when you click their name and it opens a pop-up? Hold on a second, y'all. They've made it that way now? Oh, weird. All right. Cool. Block them. And it still didn't remove the comment. Like, oh my gosh. Why did we change the way this works? There we go. Awesome. Fantastic. All right, now we're back on track. We can play some Magic. Put this into play tapped. All right. So we're playing against Eldrazi. Stuff with Legend VD again. All right, we're gonna go Pridemate. Maybe could have won Ajani there, arguably, but we'll see. Okay, can't get that into play yet. Let's go. Either way, yeah, it's fine. Attack. All right. Then at least with the Johnny, hopefully we'll get 2 triggers of Ward Leader's Call. All right. Well, whatever we're gonna do, we're gonna have to do it now. So let's just do this. Though I think, well, they'd have to put this back in their hand first, right? And then they'd have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So not quite enough to cast it, but they're close. They'll have it next turn, that's for sure. You know, deck, I wouldn't mind having a Cavern of Souls here. Because if we get a Cavern of Souls, we get both of these into play, and boom, boom, we're off to the races. If not, if we get an untapped land, it's probably just play a Johnny, put Kahira in hand. Oh, well, that makes sense too. Yep. That does all the things. Why not? Obviously, take the Ajani. I mean, I get this, but it's a bit too late now. All right. Chalice for 1 is still useful here, though. 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we'd still be 1 short of the City's Blessing. Well, no, actually, or I mean, the Cavern of Souls, but that would also count for the 10th permanent. So we'll see. I expect you're going to see a lot of this deck, though. Out early. That's why, like, you want to get the Sovereign as early as possible. Alright. GG's. I mean, because now it's just like, do we even have a real out here, right? Like, no blocks. Yeah, just like, another one of these, but we can't even cast it. So it's like, alright. Just attack with everything. You don't even have to play anything else. Just attack with it all. No, I'm not going to main deck it. That's not what we're doing today. Like, It's only for one day. I'm just gonna like... Well, we at least got a Cavern of Souls this time. We'll keep it. Am I supposed to just like turn one Ocelot here? Because like, it's a real question, because if they go for one on Chalice, I actually can't cast this again. But I can cast Ocelot with this. I think I'm just going to go Ocelot, though. And just try to be more aggressive here. Like, the Ocelot itself still gains life, so, I mean, we'll just see what happens. But we're probably going to turn to Ajani. And then hope to get Feline Sovereign. Oh, well, I guess we're not going to stick that anyway, so it didn't really matter. Interesting. Took the Lightning Helix, so I can't get past the Thought Knot Seer if I would have found mana. It's actually not a bad call, though. Alright, put this on Cat. Go ahead and just play this. No attacks. Kind of a shame that says one or more other cats, because you can't just play an... Oh, wait! We could play an Ajani and let the other Ajani die. Because this would see the other Ajani as another cat. that's awkward, but kind of does what we needed to still. So I'm into it. Let's go for it. Actually, let's do this first. Fade to life, because we'll just get the life back anyway here. It's a little goofy, not gonna lie. It's not the way we really want to do this. We'll keep this one, I guess. Take the action of one of them? Oh, wait, I could have just done that with the other one? Oh, I should have paid attention. Because I think I could have kept the one in play and taken the action of the other one, because they both triggered. Weirdly. Let's go ahead and do this. We'll just add permanents to the board here and see if we can get to, no attack. So now we have Blessing. We get a bunch of triggers. We get to make more cats. Alright. So now we can start trying things. They know we have a Feline Sovereign. We have Ajani. Devour's probably going to get rid of Ajani here. There's like no more of those shenanigans. Which, you know, reasonable. Huh. Well. I also just realized something. This is copies any token that came into play, right? Not token creature. We have cities building for each token, yeah. So I would get 4 of these if I killed one of my own bodies. That's really interesting. Alright, here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna play this. We're gonna attack, 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 attack. Alright, we'll kill one of these. I guess well, no, those are just colorless guys. They're not artifacts, even though they look like it. But using an Ajani to flip an Ajani is kind of quirky. But yeah, if I'd have done it the other way, I could have kept the first Ajani in play. And, I mean, either way, we lost Planeswalker, but we still would have had another body in play, which could have mattered. And then I could have had one of those tokens die, and then had another Ajani. So just something to note if you have Ajanis. Like, they do trigger each other. Yeah. I guess we just attack with everything, right? Yep, GG's. His deck's still really good, though, honestly. All right, we'll take it. So overall, how do I feel about this set? Honestly, it's what we expected. I think if you listen to me talk on Color Magic or on Magic Mics, we've all kind of been saying this set was going to do really well, right? There's so many cards that are pre-selling for a ton over the other cards, over the average card actually at pre-sale prices, which is actually not a bad thing. That means you're going to get a lot of value out of your boxes. And I'm going to be real with you. I think I said this on the stream, but I'm trying to get an extra box or two, and it might end up back here on my display next to, I think I still have a Modern Horizons one up there. I have some other Masters boxes hanging out. Who knows what else is up there? Oh, there's some Modern Horizons too. I still have some of those up there too. So yeah, like the thing about it is Modern Horizons 1, Modern Horizons 2 had a ton of cards that people played across a lot of formats. Almost every format where those cards are legal, they show up. And most of them haven't been reprinted in that amount of time. So same thing I would expect here. It's going to take a while for stuff in Modern Horizons 3 to get reprinted. Not to mention the fact that we have all of these Universes Beyond cards that within another year or two we'll probably need to start finding reprints somewhere. So that's going to be even less room for a lot of the Modern Horizons 3 stuff. So there's a real chance that you could get a lot of value long-term out of these, whether it's sealed boxes or cracking the packs to sell the trade the cards later. That's what I'm going to be doing. But if you are playing Modern or Historic or Timeless, you're going to want some of these cards. I mean, I've even heard some people say in Legacy and Vintage, they're hunting down some of these cards. So these cards are going to show up everywhere. So don't be surprised if the prices don't drop a ton on several of these cards. And some cards that are lower do increase in price. So yeah, this should be a fun set all around for everybody. And I don't know. We'll see how it ends up. Will I start playing more Historic on the channel? I'll think about it. But that brings up another question. Why don't y'all let me know down in the comments if you actually want to see more Historic or Timeless or Brawl or whatever, and we'll see. And maybe I'll make a video for whatever gets the most comments. That aside, y'all let me know how you feel about the set. Are you buying any? Did you find anything interesting when people were playing on this streamer event? Or do you just like watching standard stuff? All those opinions matter. That's all I have for you for now. We'll see you next time.